A 49-year-old woman left her husband of 25 years to go work at Disneyland, and now her chemical plugins are taking over an entire house. That's just the beginning. Stick around because we've also got a bridesmaid banned from a wedding, a landlord who crossed every line, a family secret that exploded at Christmas, and a neighbor dispute nobody saw coming. My house smelled like a teenage girl's bedroom had a collision with a theme park gift shop, and I had no idea why until I found the source. My wife's friend Melissa is staying with us for a few weeks. She's going through something genuinely difficult, leaving her husband of 25 years because she wants to move to LA and work at Disneyland. I know how that sounds. Trust me, it's real. We have the space, we care about her, and we were genuinely happy to have her. Then she arrived with what I can only describe as an arsenal. Plugins, multiple plugins, scattered through the guest room, the hallway, the family bathroom. And within what felt like hours, the smell had crept down 2 flights of stairs and taken over the foyer, the drawing room, the living room. Every corner of our home smelling like synthetic cotton candy and forever chemicals. Here's why that matters. My wife and I have spent years being intentional about our home environment. We've gradually cut out synthetic fragrances, harsh chemicals, anything artificial. It's not a quirk. It's a choice we've made together. And the way our home smells is genuinely part of what makes it feel like ours. Clean, subtle, calm. It sounds precious when I say it out loud, but it matters to us. And now it smelled like teen spirit. Literally. I assumed it was a room spray, something temporary. So I approached Melissa gently. I want to be clear about that. I opened with something soft. Hey, that scent is pretty strong. Would you mind keeping the door closed when you use it? Totally reasonable, I thought. Low stakes, easy conversation. Then she said, yeah, the plugins are pretty strong. Plugins, plural. I felt my face do something I couldn't control. My wife told me later it was a mixture of shock and pure disgust cycling through in real time. I believe her. Because in that moment, my brain was genuinely trying to process how an adult, a guest in someone else's home, had decided to plug scent diffusers into multiple rooms without a second thought. I kept my voice friendly, firm, but friendly. I explained why it was a problem. I asked her to remove them. And here's the thing. Melissa was completely gracious about it. She apologized immediately, pulled every single one out. No argument, no drama. She got it. But then my wife came to me privately and told me I was being an inconsiderate jerk, that Melissa is going through a hard time, that I could complain to my wife about it privately, but asking Melissa directly was out of line and made her feel unwelcome in our home. I was floored, because yes, Melissa is going through something hard. I have real sympathy for that. But she also walked into our house and quietly changed the smell of every room in it, without asking, without mentioning it. Just plugged them in and let the whole place marinate. And when I found out, I asked, politely, for her to stop. There was one moment I'm not proud of. When it finally sank in what she'd done, I said out loud that I hated the smell of them, which was unnecessary, unkind even. I was caught off guard and said something unguarded, and I own that. But here's what I keep coming back to. I also discovered after the fact that one of the plugins was sitting about 12 feet from the intake vent for our central air system, which is why the smell spread through every floor so fast. 24 hours after she removed them, it still hadn't cleared. So on one side of this, a vulnerable house guest who, by the way, handled the whole thing with total grace and class. On the other side, my wife, who thinks I crossed a line by speaking up in my own home. My wife is usually the person I trust most to tell me when I've overstepped. But this time, I genuinely cannot see it. Someone brought their own scent diffusers into our house and redistributed them through our air system. I asked them kindly to stop. That feels like the most normal thing in the world to me. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the timing was wrong or my face gave me away before my words could soften it. But I don't think I was wrong to say something. So here's what I want to know. If a guest in your home quietly changed the smell of every single room without asking, would you say something or would you just live in it? Here's one that had me cackling. So my dad had his friend over for a family dinner, and at some point the two of them started going on about how lucky men are to have sons, because living with women is apparently a nightmare. I'd already moved out for college, barely home anymore. But sure, Dad. Then he starts in on how women get moody on their periods and ruin the whole atmosphere of the house. His friends nodding along, thanking the Lord he has a son. So I matched his exact joking tone and said, honestly, if he had a son exactly like himself, it'd probably be worse. Because he's moody and irritable every single day, like he's permanently on his period. His friend burst out laughing. The wife laughed too. She even turned to her own husband and said, don't laugh, you're the same way. I also pointed out that his whole theory doesn't really hold up. I play sports through my period. My sisters are both pretty easygoing. Most of the tension in our house started with him, and then got blamed on women's hormones. After dinner, he pulls me aside and says I embarrassed him, that his friends value masculinity and I made him look weak. But here's the thing. He wanted to dish it out in front of everyone. He just didn't want it coming back. Was I wrong to fire back? Or was this a long time coming? Here's one that genuinely surprised me. My daughter's been dating this guy for 2 years. He's 24, she's 21, it's getting serious. And he has a real phobia. He cannot let anyone see him eat. I've spent a lot of time around this kid, and I have literally never once seen him put food in his mouth. Here's where it gets frustrating. Every time we take them out for a holiday or special occasion, he orders a full meal, cuts it up, pushes it around, makes it look touched, then donates his leftovers to someone else at the table. At restaurants, waiters keep coming over asking what's wrong with his food. It's awkward every single time. And at home, same thing. Takes a full plate, plays with it, then scrapes every bit into the trash. I'm watching money get thrown in the garbage, meal after meal. So I pulled my daughter aside. I said, look, if he can't eat in front of people, fine. Just stop ordering food and stop taking plates. Simple. Her response? In his culture, refusing food is considered rude, so he has to take it. And that's where she lost me, because apparently wasting my money out of cultural obligation is totally fine. But asking him to quietly decline is the problem. So I'm considering just not inviting him to meals anymore. Do you think that's reasonable, or am I missing something here? Here's one that hits close to home. My mom died when I was a baby. My aunt, her sister, basically became my second mom. She moved away when I was 8, but she still flew me out constantly. Holidays, summers, she never stopped showing up for me. Then my dad married Judy when I was 12. Suddenly, Judy was my new mom, and I didn't need my aunt anymore. They gave my bedroom to Judy's kids because it was bigger, and they told my aunt I couldn't fly alone anymore. So she'd have to travel all day just to see me. That was it for me. A few months later, I went to live with my aunt because it was obvious my dad had chosen his new family over me. Fast forward to now. Judy cheated. The divorce is happening. And here's the kicker. The new kids weren't even my dad's. So he calls me, says he misses me, says he has no family left, and he wants me to move back home. I said no. I have a great school, real friends, and my aunt has been an incredible parent. There's even a guy she's been seeing who's basically teaching me everything about cars, and he has one waiting for me. My life is genuinely good here. My dad chose Judy over me. That's not something I'm responsible for fixing now that it blew up in his face. So tell me, would you have gone back? This next one genuinely scared me to read. My boyfriend is 33. His mom was diagnosed with colon cancer in her early 40s. It was brutal. He watched the whole thing, and his doctor has already told him he needs to start colonoscopies earlier than most people. He's overdue, and lately he's been having stomach problems. I spent a full year asking him to get checked. A year. His excuses were always the same. It's embarrassing. I'm too young. What if they find something bad? That last one absolutely broke me, because that is literally the point of the test. One night he brought up his stomach issues again, and I just snapped. I told him he was being an idiot, that his mom went through hell so he could have a warning other people don't get, and he was throwing it away. Then I said something harder. I told him if he won't take care of himself, I don't know if I can build a future with him, because I refuse to lose a partner to something we could have caught early. He shut down completely, said I was controlling and dramatic. Barely spoke to me after that. And here's the thing. I know I was harsh. I know that, but I'm terrified. People his age are dying from exactly this because they waited too long. I would rather he hate me for a week than bury him in 10 years. Would you have said something or stayed quiet to keep the peace? So there you have it. Now I want to hear from you. Whose side are you on, and was the reaction justified? Drop your verdict in the comments below. If you enjoyed this one, hit like and subscribe so you never miss the next story.